What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Sparkman. Today I'm going to do a quick guide on how to use Gdevelop to be like a crash course on this software. If you don't know what Gdevelop is, okay, Gdevelop is an alternative to Clickteam Fusion and Construct 3. Maybe some of the other game makers out there, like Game Salad, Stencil. I even forgot about that. I haven't heard of Stencil in a while. Is that still active? I think it is. Yeah, still active, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, apparently it's still on the go. Alright. Yeah, this is a free game engine, and this allows you to create games without programming. Now, you do need some programming logic, but it's not the same as actually punching in the lines of code. Actually, this is probably the closest program you will find to Clickteam Fusion 2.5. Okay, except for this one is free. Now, okay, so right, this is a 2D game engine. Okay, this creates 2D games, but you can create 3D things here. But we're not gonna get into that right now. We're going to mainly focus on 2D. So if you want to make an Undertale ripoff, or a Five Nights at Freddy ripoff, or maybe you want to make your own Mario kind of game, or I don't know, maybe you have an idea for an RPG game. And maybe you don't want to pay $500 to create your game. I mean, you're not a studio. I mean, you don't have a huge budget to spend making your game. Yeah, so free is good. And me as a game developer, I recommend this game engine because I frankly haven't found anything I can actually do with this game engine. This game engine does so much that actually I wouldn't even be able to cover everything that it does in 1 year. And me creating tutorials. I think it even has more features than Clickteam Fusion. That's debatable, but I have found so much you can do with this. Okay, and it's free. Okay, you don't have to pay for it. That's the beauty. A lot of the questions that I get asked a lot in the comments is, can you actually sell your games if you make them in Gdevelop? And the answer to that is yes. You can actually find a lot of games in itch.io and other platforms like Steam that are actually made with Gdevelop, and they're doing very good commercially. Okay, so and because of privacy issues and things like that, some developers have asked me not to disclose the game engine they made their the game with. Okay. And to me, I mean, there is nothing to be embarrassed about. Okay, so I actually had to remove a couple of my videos when I showcased what I recognized the game engine in the game, and I had emails immediately from the developers asking me not to disclose the source of the game engine. And I understand that. I mean, you know, it's really. I mean, you're the developer. I mean, it's up to yourself. Usually I put it on the title. On the corner, you will see created with Unreal Engine or Unity or Gdevelop. I mean, I use a lot of game engines. My favorite game engine so far, it's probably Gdevelop, Construct, and Unreal Engine 4. I mean, I guess followed by Unity and AppGameKit. Those are very unique game engines, and they're very hard to beat. And in a second I'm going to show you why Gdevelop is not an easy game engine to beat at anything. Okay, and yeah, so we are going to get started now. I was going to break this video in 4 parts. Okay, if you're watching this video on my second channel, Sparkman 2, you'll notice that this is a longer video, and if you're watching this on Sparkman, my main channel, this is probably a shorter version. Okay, so let's get started, and we are going to first begin by simply creating a project. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so welcome. This is Gdevelop, and free game engine that allows you to create games without programming. So we're going to start first by creating a new project, and you can select some of these templates. Okay, like you can select a platform template, Now we're not going to use these templates. I'm just showing you what happens when you select one of these templates. Now this is already done. Okay, all you have to do is edit the levels and maybe adjust this to your liking. Okay, everything works fine. Let me just delete this here. Close project. Let's go create a new project. And this time we're going to simply select empty game. Okay, now this is what you first get. So we're gonna go to add scene. Okay, and we're going to double click on it. You can name that if you wanted to. Now if you hold the middle button, you can pan. Alright, if you scroll with your wheel button, you can zoom in and out. Alright, very simple. You can right click and go to scene properties. You can change the background color to whatever you like. Okay, it's a little too bright there. There we go. Here on your right, you can add objects. Right, so let's add an object. You can select sprite, style sprites, text, particles, panels, and all sorts of stuff. Okay. For this example, we're going to use sprite, animated sprite. You can name the object. Let's call it le something, le block. You can click on this button here to add animations. You can click on this button and you can insert an image, or you can simply create it here by yourself. Now if you're good at creating pixel art, you can create pixel art here. So let me see what we can do here. What can we create? So let's create something silly. A marquee here. And let's fill it out with some color. There you go. Try a different color. Not blue. Purple. Everyone loves purple. And this will be like my game Ninja Blockhead. Add some eyes for our character. Find the black color here, and my pencil tool. Now, if you want to make simple games like this, yeah, Gdevelop, it's perfect for this kind of stuff. So that is our ninja, which is a block. Okay, save it. And now this is not animated, but you can animate it if you wanted to. So we're gonna apply this. Now to put this on your screen, all you have to do is drag it. Okay, you can move around. You can scale this if you wanted to. I don't recommend doing that, because if you want a big sprite, just make it big. Okay, because yeah, you don't want to resize things here unless that you want some sort of effect. Okay. So let's create some ground for our character. So I'm going to select a tile sprite. Okay, let's call this I guess grass. You can select an image here. We're not going to select an image. We are going to create one in Pascal. Now the grass is green. Okay, normally it is green unless it's all dried up. If you want that effect, you can certainly do that. Let's place some dots here. Okay, you can see a preview here on the side of the grass. Very neat tool. Save it. There's our image. Apply this, and we can drag this here. Now you don't have to use Pascal for editing your images. You could use Adobe Photoshop or some sort of advanced program to create sprites. Actually, I use Real Illusion, Crazy Talk Animator to create very nice looking sprites for games. So if you run this, as you press this button here, this allows you to run your game. Okay, and if you press the keys, you can see that nothing happens because we haven't done anything here. So, so far you can see that this is very similar to Clickteam Fusion. Actually, this might even be the same software. I'm not saying it is, but it kind of looks identical. Now, if you went to Construct 3, you can see pretty much the same thing. And if you went to Game Salad, you will see the exact same thing. Well, not exact, but very similar buttons and things that you can do in a 2D game engine. Now, if you right click on your object, you can see that you can go to Edit Object, and we're going to go to Behaviors. Very similar to Construct 3. We're going to add a behavior to this. We want this to be a platform object. Now notice that you can make this a draggable object. Actually, let's try this first. Run the game, and you can see that you can drag your character. Very useful for a mobile game. Okay. Right now, that's not what we want, so delete that behavior. And let's try another one. This is top-down movement. Okay, so you can make this an 8-direction object, meaning that you can control it by rotating your character. Okay, you can disable those rotations if you wanted to. You don't have to have your character rotate like that. Let me show you. Rotate object. Let me take that off. And you can see that you can move back and forth. You can adjust the acceleration and deceleration to your liking. Okay. The deceleration and the acceleration should be this should be 1000, and this should be 1000, and that gives you very nice movement. Not overly sharp, okay, but fast. Okay. If you were creating a game like Undertale or Zelda or spaceship game, this will probably be the movement that you want to select. But I think we want to go for platform right now. Delete that behavior. Okay, so let's add let's make this a platform character. Okay, and I'm going to leave everything like it is. Notice that we have a lot of parameters we can play with. Okay, so now it's a jumping game, except for we don't have anything to jump on. Let me edit the grass and add a behavior to this, and this will be a platform. Well, just a platform. Okay, for platform objects. So now, without doing any programming or anything, you simply hit the run button, and you have a perfect platform game. Now you could export this right now, and this is and this will work on any computer or any cell phone, just like that. And we haven't even done any programming, okay? Because you can drag this. Let me enable the grid here. Show grid. Okay, and you can pretty much start playing around with this. When I hold the control button, I can create duplicates. Notice that it doesn't create a new object like in Clickteam Fusion. If you create copies of something, it will just continue to create instances of the same object, but it also will add them here. But here you can see that this doesn't. Okay, you can start building a level by simply creating clones of the same instance. Okay, I can just I could have just dragged that. It would have been pretty much the same result. Okay. You can edit levels pretty nice like this. Super fast. Just try this. I don't know, for some reason I feel like the background should be black. Theme properties. Or it should be darker. Like a dark gray kind of thing. There you go. Spacebar is the jump button. Okay. Now when I press left, my character doesn't turn around. And I know in Fusion people simply select a direction. Okay. But that also creates a larger game. Okay. Using the same sprite, you simply flip this horizontally in Gdevelop. Okay, so let's do our first event. So let's go to scenes, and we're going to add a new event. So to create events, all you have to do is click on this button here. You're going to use this button a lot, so memorize the position of this button. Here is where we can add conditions. So add a new condition. So we're going to go to keyword, and if you press a key, okay, it's going to be the left key. Okay. We're going to go OK. Add action. Let's go to sprite. And we're going to go to effects. And we can flip our sprite horizontally. Select the sprite you want to flip horizontally. Activate flipping. Yes. Okay. So now if you run that, when you press left, this will flip. You can right click on this, copy this action, and paste it. Now you have to. So let me just change this for the right key. And we want to select flip no. Wow, look how easy this is. And I have a few people emailing me about how Gdevelop is not like Fusion. Okay, but the evidence says otherwise. This is pretty similar. I mean, we just put this together in about 5 minutes, and even if you have no experience creating video games, you can see that it wouldn't take you long to get around to creating your first game. I mean, anyone could do this actually, right? And as I mentioned, the beauty of this is that you don't have to pay for this. This is a free game engine. Okay, actually, you can simply go to File, Export for Web as HTML5, iOS, or Android, or even Windows. Okay, I know it says coming soon here, but actually that works already. I can export this to Windows, Mac OS, and even Linux, just like that. Yeah, so it also has other exporting options if you wanted to do it manually. Okay, now you can take these projects and you can import them into Android Studio or Visual Basics or any other editor. Close this here. We're not going to do that right now. I actually made a video about that. You can probably just check out my video about creating an Android game with Gdevelop. All right. So let's go to scene here, and if we touch something, we can make our character go to the next level. So for that, we're going to need another scene. So let's rename this to something else. Just call it level 1. Level 1. I'm not sure if it's picky about spaces, but I never like to leave spaces, so I don't even think you can you? Right, lets you do it. So let me just copy this, and we're going to paste it. So that will give you a duplicate of level 1. Now make sure that this level is on top, because that's going to start first. So let's move it up. This is now level 2. Level 2. Rename. Make sure that there are no spaces. So let's double click on level 2. It looks identical, but we are going to change the background color to maybe I don't know, something else. Maybe green. Wow, that's that is really bright. Coming from a very dark background to green, that's kind of bad. Even that brown is still super bright. Maybe we can select some sort of in between color, something like that. There we go. We can change the grass color to something else. Edit object. Remember this image here, it's going to be the same. So choose a new image. Oops. Let me just copy this here. Call it grass 2. Open it, and we can edit this image in Gdevelop. Let me just make it a different kind of green, and I think that's fine there. Apply it. Well, that's still a little too bright. I like bright colors, but right now, for what we want this to be a little darker. Select the color, just a little tiny darker. There we go. Yellow, but there you go. Kind of like dead grass. Start here. So let's go back to level 1. We want to add a new object here. Again, this is going to be a sprite. Call this what can we call this? I'm going to call this next level. You can call it whatever you want. Edit that with Pascal. And let's make this anything. I guess what can be a star? Okay. Kind of like a Mario star kind of thing. Happy star. And of course it's going to be yellow. Alright. You can animate this if you wanted to. Oops, just duplicate it and make it a little darker. There you go. So now it sort of glows. Just make sure that you loop that here and you preview the animation. So there is our next level start. So if you touch this, we're going to make it we're going to make the game move to the next level. Okay, let me close this here. So let's go to events for level 1. Press this button here, and let's add a new condition, a collision. Okay, so we're going to go to common conditions for objects, collision between LibLock, which is our hero, and next level. Maybe I should have just called that star. Okay. We can go to actions. We're going to go to scene. And we're going to go to change scene. Okay, make sure you use the quotations. And it's going to be level 2. Okay, that's why it's very important to label your scene correctly. Okay, just leave that like that. and let's try it out. So now we touch that, and we're gonna go to level 2, just like that. So there you go, guys. That's how simple this game engine is. Literally, there is nothing more to it. Okay, when you collide with things, you can play different animations. You can play sounds, music, and all kinds of different things. Okay, and all for free. This is a very short intro how to use Gdevelop. I think after watching this, you can probably now uh, download the game engine and start playing around with what you can do. I'm going to keep uploading Gdevelop videos throughout the year so you can get more familiar with this game engine. Yeah, you can see that it's very similar to Clickteam Fusion 2.5. This might as well even be the same software. Okay, and it could be a lot of these software source codes sometimes get passed around. All right, but I don't think that's the case with this. I think this was started from scratch. And okay, so don't forget to smack the like button down below and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Also check out my main channel, okay, Sparkman. I upload all kinds of different content there. Alright guys, see you in the next video, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye now.